I feel like I'm in the middle of a Weather Channel program right now. It is raining and windy here in Bermuda, and I am stuck indoors. Tropical Storm Jose passed by here last night. The weather is still all screwed up, but it gives me time to solve some of the world's problems. No, I cannot solve why my good friend Charlie Haas is so bald, or why his tag team partner in wrestling, Shelton Benjamin, has yellow hair. I can also not solve why my hall pass is now pregnant. See, Beyonce, good news and bad news, was my hall pass. That's the good news. Bad news is her and Jay-Z are now expecting a baby. Good news for them, bad news for me, because that was my hall pass. Now I've got to find a non-pregnant hall pass. On my radio show, JohnLayfieldShow.com, you can check out about the best CEO, in my opinion, of the last 100 years in Steve Jobs and his retirement last week. That's JohnLayfieldShow.com if you care to check it out. More about college football and playoffs on that show, but I'm going to get into that now because I need to solve this problem. You see, I hate the BCS system. I think it is stupid. I think it is pathetic. I think it's a bunch of good old boys protecting their best interests. Sounds a lot like our Congress, which, by the way, I haven't mentioned. They are on their 5-week vacation right now. You see, college football says they can't extend the season. You don't have to extend the season. Let me explain how you do this. You got so many bowls out there that are just meaningless. And you got great football teams playing teams that their junior varsity could beat in preseason because they can't have a tough schedule because they can't afford to lose a game. So what happens at the end of the season? See, a few years ago when no one knew about Boise State and they end up undefeated, they have no chance of getting into a national championship game. If you have a playoff system, they do. This would absolutely dwarf March Madness. The college football playoffs would be our version of the World Cup, of soccer, of rugby, of anything else. 100,000 people will be in some stadiums cheering on their team. You would have a very simple system. You start with 8 teams on December 18th. You shorten the college football playing schedule to 10 games. December 18th, you play the quarterfinals. You put those games in bowls that don't mean anything anyway. Christmas Day, you play the semifinals. New Year's Day, you play the true national championship. It's that simple. Now, you talk about money. You talk about something that would dwarf March Madness. What happens if a team that's virtually unknown gets in there and starts winning? What happens to these great teams with 1 losses that are on a roll at the end of the season? Now they still get to play for it instead of having a 5-week off period between when they play a bowl game and their last college football game. That's my take. I think it's very simple, and I think it's a bunch of good old boys protecting their interest. The other thing I think that is very dumb is Usain Bolt. Not Usain Bolt, but the rule on a false start is now 0 tolerance. So at the World Championship, Usain Bolt is set to defend his 100-meter title. He is the most famous person in track and field today. People stayed up to watch this. People bought tickets to watch this. He has a false start and he is eliminated. I'm not asking for a pass for Usain Bolt, that you break the rules. You had to disqualify him. I'm saying the rules are dumb. I'm saying when you take out the greatest star in sports like that, in track and field, Usain Bolt, and you don't even let him run in his race because of a false start, something has got to change. And I think it should be the rules. That's my take, at least. Now, I'm going to sit here the rest of the day in this Weather Channel program called Bermuda and watch the wind howl.